everyone, welcome back to my channel Seek Knowledge with Hania. It's Hania here. In today's video, we will study about old and new religions from the NCERT book of history for class 7th and the chapter tracing changes through 1,000 years. If this video was useful to you, then don't forget to like, comment and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get all the notifications of my videos. So now, let's get started. The 1,000 years of history that we are exploring witnessed major developments in religious traditions. People's belief in divine was sometimes deeply personal, but more usually it was collective. Collective belief in a supernatural agency, religion was often closely connected with the social and economic organization of local communities. As the social worlds of these groups altered, so too did their beliefs. So as we are studying about like 1,000 years of history, so it has just witnessed or it has just saw the developments of people in their religious thoughts, the way they thought about the divine thing and like the supernatural agency which is called as religion. And it was like their personal thought about their religion was just connected with the social and economic organization around them. It was like connected with the people around them, how the people just lived and how they got influenced. And the social worlds of these groups, they also changed, and their beliefs too changed also. It was during this period that important changes occurred in what we call Hinduism today. These included the worship of new deities, the construction of temples by royalty, and the growing importance of Brahmins, the priests, as dominant groups in society. Their knowledge of Sanskrit texts earned the Brahmins a lot of respect in society. Their dominant position was consolidated by the support of their patrons, new rulers searching for prestige. So, during the period of 700 and 1750, many changes occurred in Hinduism. And like it included the worship of new deities, of new gods, the construction of temple by royalty. The royal people just constructed temples, and Brahmins were like given more importance. And the priests, they were the priests, Brahmins, the priest as a dominant group in a society, and their knowledge of Sanskrit, because mostly priests were the ones who knew Sanskrit, and the Sanskrit texts earned the Brahmins a lot of respect. They got a lot of respect because of the Sanskrit texts. And their dominant position was consolidated by the support of their patrons. Patron is like an influential, wealthy individual, like a king or a duke or such thing like that. So they just support another person like an artisan, art craft person, a learned man, or a noble. So like the patrons were the one who were the new rulers who were searching for prestige. If they will help the Brahmins, they will get respect, and then they will grow. People will believe, if the people will believe Brahman, then they will believe that new ruler too. One of the major developments of this period was the emergence of the idea of bhakti, of a loving personal deity that devotees could reach without the aid of priests or elaborate rituals. So, one of the major developments, the major thing that which, the major turnout which came in this period in Hinduism was that the idea of bhakti. Like a devotee could reach its god or its deity without the help of, just a Brahman or priest, or without doing any ritual. So it was bhakti that like we could just interact, like we could just pray to our god without the need of the priest. This was also the period when new religions appeared in the subcontinent. Merchants and migrants first brought the teaching of the Holy Quran to India in the 7th century. Muslims regard the Quran as their holy book and accept the sovereignty of one God Allah, whose love, mercy, and bounty embrace all those who believe in Him, without regard to social background. Many rulers were patrons of Islam and the ulama, learned theologians and jurists, and like Hinduism, Islam was interpreted in a variety of ways by its followers. There were the Shia Muslim who believed that the Prophet Muhammad's son-in-law Ali was the legitimate leader of the Muslim community, and the Sunni Muslims who accepted the authority of the early leaders, Khalifas of the community, and the succeeding Khalifas. There were other important differences between the various schools of law, Hanafi and Shafi mainly in India, and in theology and mystic traditions. So, differences or changes were brought into Hinduism, and many new religions came into the subcontinent. The Islam was brought to the subcontinent, like the merchants and migrants, like they used to like they brought new technologies and foods. They brought the teaching of Holy Quran to India in the 7th century, and the Muslims just regard the Quran as their holy book. They take Quran as their holy book. They just accept the sovereignty, or they just follow the one God, Allah. And it just like they just follow him without regarding to the social background. And many rulers were the patrons, or they influenced Islam. And the ulama are the learned theologians and jurists. And like Hinduism, Islam was interpreted in different ways. Like people used to think of it in different ways. Like there were Shia Muslims who believed that the Prophet Muhammad's son-in-law Ali was the main leader of the Muslim community, and then there were Sunni Muslims who just accepted the authority of the early leaders, the people who were Khalifas of the community, and the succeeding Khalifas, like who were the head of the Muslims at that time. And there were also important differences between the laws of like the different schools of laws, which are Hanafi and Shafi. They are mainly in India, and in theology and mystic traditions, in different there are like different traditions followed by different people. This video ends here. In my next video, we will study about thinking about time and historical periods. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.